This is Radio Sabah calling from J7, North Borneo.
As Kadazan, I'm proud to be part of the largest ethnic indigenous group in Sabah, Malaysia or Borneo. It is my moral obligation to share with you the history and the origin and the legacy of our people so that our new generation can understand that our identity is known by God, given by God. We thank God for this time and season. Hear our story.
You may
Good
begin.
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Here in Thailand, it's 11 in the morning.
Yes.
I see.
I just know that.
So you're compensated for us.
Yes, we are behind. I mean, we are 1 hour behind you.
Thank you. First of all, let me thank you for agreeing to doing this interview with us.
Okay.
The honor is ours.
Amen. Amen. In Thailand, it says Sawadee krap.
Sawadee ka.
Sawadee krap.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Sawadee krap.
So,
All right.
how are you today, Professor?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I just completed some of the videos and I went through some of the Kadazan Dusun documentary, which I think that I want to do it in English instead of just Bahasa Malaysia or Kadazan, since more and more students love to do this documentary. Hang on, somebody just ring to me. Just hang on, yeah? Just hang on for me. Right.
Alright. So before we start,
Yeah.
do you want to do a self-introduction? Or I want to know who are you?
Alright, simple, sweet and easy. I am a Christian University College professor in 2 institutions. means to say I'm teaching mostly theology and divinity subjects to diplomas, bachelor, master, and doctorate student in our college and university. So currently I am based in Thailand. I'm happily married to a Thai wife with a daughter. I've been staying here for decades, but originally I came from the island of Borneo, the third largest island in the world, a state called Sabah, the neighborhood of Sarawak, Brunei, and Kalimantan. So I am a Malaysian. I was born in the state of Sabah, but then I'm 56 years old now. I'm retired. I am already in a base, stayed in Thailand for almost more than 10 years. So I'm doing an online lecture for most of the students because of the pandemics and the situation in Thailand doesn't allow us to travel. We are still under darurat. We are still under darurat state of emergency that does not allow us to travel. Normally every year I travel to many parts of Asia, Europe, and Africa because we have our offices there. But yeah, by the will of the Lord, maybe next year I will travel. So I'm mostly doing online lecture, like what I'm doing to you guys. I'm also doing the same, running an off-campus online theological and divinity subjects. But at the meantime, I'm also a historian. That means mostly I studied about the history of Malaysia, the history of many countries, and so on. And since I am a Kadazan, I am a mixed Kadazan, by the way. My great-great-grandfather is a pure Chinese Wong, you know. That means Wong Fei Hong is my cousin from Guangdong. I'm a Hokkien, by the way. My great-grandfather is a Hokkien, but I don't speak Hokkien, but I love Hokkien mee. But
Right.
I'm an English educated, and I didn't go to Chinese school, so sorry, so that I don't speak really Mandarin, ni hao ma, hao liang, that's all. But I'm a historian. I studied a lot on culture, tourism, especially Borneo. The Kadazan Dusun is one of my favorite history subjects. So you came to the right person whenever you ask me about it. I produce a lot of documentaries on the YouTube.
Yes,
but
we have seen.
I have not seen any subscribers yet. Somebody promised to subscribe, but I did not see any subscribers yet.
I'm subscribed, definitely.
I'm so subscribed.
Okay, please do, because otherwise I will charge you for my lecture fee for 2 hours, eh?
Oh.
Joking. Okay, that's a little bit of my introduction, and I'm a historian, by the way, so anything to do
You find the right people.
Okay, that's all.
Right.
A little bit about my introduction. Yeah, go ahead.
So, from what I've heard, you must be multilingual.
I sing Spanish. I speak bahasa Indonesia very fluently. Saya berbahasa Indonesia begitu lancar sekali. I speak baku,
Bagus.
bahasa Melayu baku. Kalau bercakap bahasa Malaysia boleh juga. You know, I speak Kadazan, I speak Rungus, I speak English, I speak a little bit of Thai. Yeah.
Oh wow.
What can you say? What can you say?
You've been in every part of the world.
Yeah, sure. Just because of the pandemic, I could not travel. Every year, I travel to speak in many parts of Europe. Belgium is my second home. Whenever I'm invited to give motivational talk, I talk in Paris, in Amsterdam, in Belgium, in South Africa, and mostly in Thailand. So this is a Malaysian traveler.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay. Enough of too much. I think I give too much profile. So you introduce yourself. Yeah.
So we are from our college.
Tunku Abdul Rahman University
Yeah.
College.
Correct.
My wife wants to take camera.
It's fine.
Anyway, you just say hello. if you want to say hello to my wife, Dr. Jamie.
Hello everyone. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
This,
All students?
Bye.
yeah, these are diploma students from Taruk
Yes.
Tunku Abdul Rahman University College in Kuala Lumpur.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
very good.
I think it was found by Dr. Lim Leong Sik or something. He's the founder, right? Of Taruk.
Yes, I believe so.
Yes.
Even you don't know who's your founder, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all about it.
That is very good. I just encourage you something that just keep continue to looking forward and earn your knowledgeable. I'm Dr. Jamie.
Dr. Jamie, yeah.
Yes, nice to meet you all. Bye.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Right.
Okay.
So this interview is about assignment where we look into the different ethnicity of minorities
Okay.
in Malaysia.
Okay.
Yeah, and we searched for Kadazan and we find it really interesting actually. It is the biggest tribe. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would believe there is a lot to discover about their cultures and their language.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
First of all, do you speak Kadazan?
No.
Okay, I teach you one word. Whenever they say greeting, alright? Ni hao ma, or ni hao in Kadazan is kopi vosian.
Kopi Busian.
Kopi, you know coffee, no? Kopi vosian.
Kopi Busian.
Yeah, like photocopy, right? Photocopy, right? COPY, right? Kopi
Kopi.
vosian.
Kopi
Kopi
Busian.
Busian.
Mean ni hao ma, ni hao ma.
Kopi Busian to you.
Yeah, kopi vosian. Okay, go ahead.
Alright, so can we move into questions?
Oh, sure.
Alright.
I didn't know. You should introduce yourself first, eh?
Yeah, so sorry. My name is Ko Kai Kip.
Okay, cool, Kai Ket.
You
Okay.
can call me Ko.
Okay, cool. Okay, rap.
Right.
Mm.
Can I let my classmates to introduce themselves?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Wong Wei Yu.
Okay, Miss
You
Wei.
can call me Wei Yu.
Wong.
Wei Yu.
So Wong Wei Yu.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Wong. So you are my distant cousin, eh? Wong, eh?
Wow.
Because my great grandfather name is Wong Alung. That's my great grandfather, Wong. You know. Okay, Miss Wong. Yeah. Okay, nice.
Thank you.
All right.
My name is Ang Ming Tian.
Aming
You
Ten.
can call me Tian.
Tian. Oh, the one who sent my audio the other day. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Tian. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Chong Bi Wei.
Hi, Miss Chong. Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. Okay, Miss Chong.
My name is Yong Xin Yin. You can call me Yong.
Yong.
Yeah.
But I see in the Google say Cindy. You wrote it down Cindy, eh? Okay, Cindy Yong. Okay, right. Okay.
My name is Liu Yu.
Okay, Miss
You
Liu.
can call me Liu.
Okay, Miss Liu. Okay. All right. Okay, Mr. Ku. Yes, go ahead.
Alright, so we have done a little background search and we found out that you are from a tribe called Tanga. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. So I believe, is it true that every tribe has their own specialty food and their own cultures?
Okay, that's your question, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, definitely it's true. From the previous students before you, similarly they were asking about it, and I said that in Sabah there are over 40, close to 40 tribes, or they call it sub-ethnic, because the biggest ethnic is the ethnic of Kadazan, you see. So it's like sub-ethnic, where it consists of over close to 40 ethnic. So if you go to the north, a different tribe, it will be the Rungus, and then you go to the east or west, it will be the Kadazan, it will be the Tanga, and then in a mountain there will be muruts and the dusuns. And you go to the Kinoingan, to Tambunan, you will see another tribe called Kuijau. And you go to Tenom, famous Tenom coffee in Sabah is Tenom coffee. It will be the muruts. And muruts also have few more sub-tribals. So I think when you talk about food, all right, everybody eat rice. That is essential, you see. But the tribe in the hill part will plant hill type of rice, which is different than the plain riverside type of rice. Okay, but they still eat rice anyway. They hunt, they fish, they eat fish, food, but the recipe, the way they cook their food, that what makes every tribe unique and different. All right, and the same thing with the way they live. Some are living in the hilly part. So in the olden days, some 50-60 years ago, they stay in house, even in the tree house. And then the Rungus love a colony. They stay in a longhouse. The Muruts also love colony. They like to stay together, so they stay in a longhouse. But those who are in the plain, near the riverside, near the near the seaside, especially the Tanga tribes, and to some extent the mixed Chinese intermarriage, because Sabah has become one of the famous adventurous place to come with. You know, the British, the Spaniard, even American went there, and then the Chinese, a lot of Chinese came to Sabah, and so they get intermarried with the Chinese. And so, like me, I'm a mixed Chinese, and so the lifestyle is influenced by either the father's side or the mother's side. If it's a Chinese father and the mother is a Kadazan, then of course the DNA of the Chinese is much more stronger. So the father tend to give the name Wong or Lee or whoever married to the father, and they began to follow the culture, right? But they have their food, unique kind of food. They have their unique kind of culture. They have their unique kind of dress, and they have their unique kind of relationship. This is very interesting because I did not tell the other student about the marriage custom of a Murut and the marriage custom of Kadazan is very different. It's not the same. All right. So does it answer your question?
Yes, well, more than my question.
Okay.
That's really good. So, would you have, like, I would imagine you have names for your food?
Oh yes, we have name for food. What kind of food you want? Something like a hard food or soft food, or?
Maybe you can list out the ones which is your favorite.
Okay, my favorite food, when you talk about this, surprisingly, my favorite food is rice.
Rice.
Okay, but we also have this kind of food like a flower from a rumbia tree. If you know a rumbia tree. Rumbia tree is kind of a palm tree, you know, similar to a palm tree. A lot in Sabah, but we call it rumbia. So we cut it, we open it like you are opening a sugar cane, you know. It's like, and inside there is juice in it. We just squeeze the juice and come out the sticky kind of flour, you know.
Okay.
And then that one we will just put it under the sun and it become a bit hardened, and it's like a food. It's like a rice. So during the Japanese occupation in Sabah, World War II, okay, I don't know if you are born I was not born yet. The Japanese came to Sabah. They occupied even Malaya, right? So most of the people of Sabah cannot stay in the house, so they move to the mountain or they hide somewhere, so they cannot eat rice. So what they did is they used this because this has been traditionally handed down by our ancestors. So we eat this kind of flour from the rumbia, juice. Okay, it's quite sticky. When you cook it, the taste is like a food, edible food, and we eat it as an alternative of rice. Okay, so we call it, if you want to know the name, we call it nantung. Nantung. It's a sticky kind of like floury, sticky kind of juice that is alternate food apart from rice. Okay, apart from rice. Okay.
So it's kind of a flour rice from a tree.
Yeah, but it's not rice anyway. It is from the juice. It's like, you know, a mango juice you squeeze, like the orange juice, you squeeze it and
then you dry it.
You dry it and it produces kind of a flour, like a flour. You know, flour, tepung, you know.
Tepung.
Yes, and we eat, you know, like roti canai kind of things. You eat like roti chapati kind of things, right? It's similar. You can make the flour of the rumbia tree to become like a roti canai or roti chapati.
I see.
Then the Indian will eat the thing, right? They don't eat rice, they eat roti, right?
Yeah.
I remember I stayed 1 month in Pakistan and they served me all the roti chapati, roti canai every day for 1 month in Pakistan.
I see.
They don't eat rice. They don't eat rice in Pakistan. They don't eat rice. They eat the roti.
So the roti that's made from flour.
Yes, the same thing with the rumbia. Rumbia, it become like a flour, and then they will eat it. But then, after the independence and so on, we still plant rice and with rice. Another kind of food is, okay, when you talk about this, I like this kind of a fish called tilapia.
Tilapia.
Ikan keruk, I don't know how to call it. Ikan keruk, you know. And then we cook it with salty taste and masam, you know. We use a lot of lemon.
We can just write down the name of the ingredients.
Okay. We use lemon. We use a kind of very sour kind of fruit, you know, called takobako. Takobako. T-A-K-O-B. It's like a wild mango, but it's very sour, mixed with kunyit, you know.
Kunyit, yeah.
Kunyit.
Yellow powder.
Yeah, yellow powder and tamarind, you know, tamarind and all that.
Yeah.
And then we cook with a bit salty. So it's salty and sour. The Kadazan love salty and sour. They just love to eat salty and sour kind of cook. So the tilapia or ikan basung they call it, whatever fish, they will just cook using that lemongrass and kunyit and
so it becomes like a paste for every dish.
Yeah. So
you cook with.
Yeah, they love, like I said, the taste must be salty and sour.
They love that.
They just love it. They just love it. Another one is called hinava.
Hinava?
H-I-N-A-V-A.
Hold on, we'll just get that down. Hinava.
H-I-N-A-V-A. Okay. Hinava is a kind of a half-cooked fish meat. Half-cooked. And they just...
Half-cooked?
Yeah, and they just chop it in. Yes. Put some lemon in it. A little bit of sugar, good enough salt, and ginger, and then they just mix it up. It's like a half cook, like a sushi style, you know, like a half cook kind of thing.
Yeah.
And still
not fully cooked.
Yeah, salty, sour, and they call it hinava. It is an essential kind of dish that the Kadazan people and even the Dusun You see, Dusun, Kadazan, and even the Murut love to eat that, but it belongs to the Kadazan people. They call it hinava. So when you go to Sabah, you just say, "Can I try some hinava?" You know, and they will serve you.
All of the household will have it.
Yeah, and then sometimes they don't even cook at all. Like exactly like a Japanese salmon. You know, when you go to sushi, it's raw.
Fully raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just chop, and they use a lemon to cook it. Like the juice of the lemon will cook the meat. You know, something like this. But some do eat it half cooked. You know, they just chop, and you eat it. It's so nice because we love sour kind of thing.
You like the strong flavor.
Yes, strong flavor.
So that it is also salty and sour.
Salty and sour. And number 3, I just want to introduce number 3. The most favorite dish of the Kadazans is dry fish, dry salty fish. This is being introduced by the fishermen, the Bajau people who stay by the seaside, and they catch the fish and they put it inside, put salt in it, soak in the salt for 1 week.
Fermented
With salt for 1 week, and they hang it under the sun, and the smelly of a dead fish for 1 week. But because of the salt, it become like it's not destroyed. It's just fermented salt, and it is very good.
Ikan masin.
Yes, ikan masin. Exactly, ikan masin. But in Kadazan we call it koiton. Koitan.
Koitan.
Koiton. Koiton.
Okay.
So koiton is actually a salty, dry kind of a fish being put on top of it the tamarind, yellow tamarind.
So do you guys fry it or?
Sorry?
Do you fry it?
Okay.
Or you just dry?
There are 2 types to do. We fry, alright, or we put in a coals, you know. It's like
like to just cook it.
Grill it, you know, grill it. You grill it under the fire, you grill the fish, or you fry it
slowly.
Yeah, or you fry it, and then once you fry it or grill it, then you put a little bit of lemon on top of it. Oh, voila!
Ooh.
So that is just delicious food. So we call it koiton. Koiton.
Alright.
So if you go to Sabah, you just say, "Ma'am, inay," or inay means ma'am, inay, I want the koiton. Do you have a koiton for me? They will serve you. Or hinava for me.
How do you say delicious in?
Okay, delicious is O-P-O-T-O. Okay.
P-O-T-O.
O, P for perak, and then we have O for orange, and then we have T for Thailand, and we have O for orange. So pronounce it. How do you pronounce it?
Opo.
Okay. O for orange, P for perak, O for orange, T for Thailand, and O for orange.
Opoto.
That's it. Delicious. Opoto.
Inama opoto.
Opoto. Yes. Opoto. Opoto. Delicious.
Well, that's a lot of food in a single tribe.
And Thailand say aroy mak. Aroy.
อร่อยจริงๆครับ
Aroy jing jing kap.
I know a bit.
Opoto. Okay.
Right, so that's a lot of information in food that we cannot find online actually. That's a lot.
Okay.
So right now can we move into
Yeah, what
I would
about the
like
rest?
to-
The rest are not asking anything.
Oh yeah. So actually, all the questions
I'll
come
give it to
me.
you. You are the leader.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm the interviewer for today.
Alright, go ahead. Because the previous student, the previous 6 of them, right? Every one of them will ask me a question. So
I see.
so now only you. Okay, that's good, that's good. Go ahead.
We would like to move into festivals,
Alright. Okay.
right? So we couldn't find much about Kadazan festival, like what do you celebrate
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
So could you
Okay.
speak a little bit about that?
Okay. The biggest and the most popular festival of the Kadazan, which combine all the 40 tribes. You can imagine all the 40 tribes all over will celebrate once a year in the month of May, bulan 5, you know? In the month of May, they call the festival as Harvest Festival.
Harvest festival.
Harvest Festival in bahasa Malaysia is Pesta Menuai. Menuai. It is considered a statewide harvest festival in the month of May, and in the state of Sabah it is declared a public holiday on 30th and 31st of May. It's a public holidays by the government to celebrate the harvest festival, okay, or Pesta Menuai. Okay. Harvest mean, you know, if you have a rice or paddy, right, you want to harvest the rice,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
Or if you have orchard or orange or mango, you want to harvest the mango. You want to harvest the orange. So you know, harvesting is a time where the Kadazans and the Dusuns and the Rungus plant rice, and then they wait for 6 months. Normally they start to plant rice in the month of January, okay, February, and when it reach May, month of May, the rice is ready to be harvested. Menuai padi, you know. So they harvest the thing, and then once they have harvested, it's like a new rice to them. They will celebrate like praying to the people who are not Christian. They're praying to the God, thanking God for the bountiful harvest that they have harvested that year. So they
To show
celebrate
the
the big.
gratefulness.
Oh yes, gratefulness. They thank the God who gave them a bountiful blessing of harvest of rice, and they celebrate it big at kampung level, and then district level, and finally the state level. You know, they celebrate very big, including even the
All the tribes combined.
all the tribes combined. All right.
It's a common festival for everyone to get together.
Every year in the month of May, and the tribe have formed an association. They call it Kadazan Dusun Cultural Association. This organization is being given the responsibility to organize this annual event. So the government of Sabah is allocating a special fund like $1 million, you know, $1 million fund, $1 million, you know,
For the festival.
yes,
For 2 days.
For 2 days, yeah.
Wow.
So it's a very
That's
big
big.
event, and the association is the one who is in charge to do so many kind of activities, which is cultural activities. All right. So even the prime minister come. normally they never miss. The Prime Minister of Malaysia must come because it's a big event. It's a very big festival in the month of May. Trust me, I hope that the pandemic is gone and next year you go to Sabah on the 30th or 31st for the Harvest Festival. You will see thousands of people come to the building. They have an association building, very big cultural association building, and thousands will flock there from overseas, from many, because that's the time where all the 40 tribes you can meet one by one. All the 40 tribes. You can see the dress, the culture, their dance, their gong, and they have
celebrate the history.
Celebrate the Harvest Festival with many activities like games, you know, all the traditional games, and the highlight of it all is of course like a beauty queen contest. The most pigeon, the most beautiful queen among the 40 tribes. So they choose. So there's a singing competition, singing local languages. You can sing in Murut, you can sing in Rungus, you can sing in Kadazan, Dusun, and they choose the champion and they get paid. You know, like the beauty queen will receive 10,000 ringgit of scholarship, 5,000 of cash, sponsor this, sponsor that. It's like a beauty queen, beauty contest. So if you go to YouTube, Google, you just say Harvest Festival, you can see that. It's a very big
happening.
Yeah,
everything is happening at once.
Yeah, the RTM are involved, the Astro are involved, TV3 is involved. Everybody's involved in the month of May. You have a look at it. It's a big thing. Okay. It's a very big. Yeah. It's a very big. So that's the main attraction of a Harvest Festival. They celebrate kampung level, district level, and finally state level. And the government is allocating them 1 or 2 million just to do that. Very great, it's very great. Alright? And the purpose, okay, Miss Ku, the real purpose is to give thanksgiving to God for that wonderful annual harvest that they receive. Alright? Today, in the new generation, we are not talking about 50 years ago, in 1960s, where that was my time. You know, I was born in the 60s, right? There is no more rice field in Sabah. I think only less than 1%. Every rice field is filled with soil, and they build houses and so on. So they don't really plant rice now. But symbolically, they still celebrate Rice Harvest Festival anyway. It's like, it's part of the culture.
It's part of the community already.
Yeah, it's part of the culture. Every year they must celebrate it. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
1 million for 2 days.
It's a big thing, eh? It's a big thing. It's a public holiday. It's gazetted by the government of Sabah. And in Sarawak, of course, they also have the Harvest Festival. They call it Gawai. I think you heard it.
Gawai.
Yeah, it's a Harvest Festival.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. But in Sabah, we don't call it Gawai. We call it Tadau Kaamatan in Kadazan language. Tadau Kaamatan. Tadau is the day. Kaamatan is the harvest. The day of the harvest. Tadau Kaamatan.
Tadau Kaamatan.
Or Pesta Menuai in Malaysian language. Pesta Menuai or Harvest Festival. Yeah.
So is there any like smaller festivals that is celebrated in maybe your tribe?
Our side is more like a family gathering kind of things. Okay, we do have, you know, family gathering. In my case, the Wong Lung clan, we have about 150 people gather every year just to meet up. And sometimes we do it because we are Christian and celebrate Christmas. Okay, that is a modern, you know. And then some of our Chinese cousin and niece celebrate Chinese New Year. And of course, I don't need to tell you about Chinese New Year because you know what do you do in Chinese New Year? Oh, ang pao, or you know, to play the dragon dance or whatever. Okay, that is you have to understand that Kadazan, modern Kadazan now is not pure Kadazan. They mix, they intermarriage with.
It's already mixed.
The Indian, the Malay, the Chinese, like us, and so culture is still culture. And then, like I told you, the previous student, that some 100 years ago we were under the British, the Englishman colony. We were under the colony of Britain. So the culture of the British, the family and the lifestyle of the British is still in our blood. So we speak English, we educate ourselves in English. So the kind of family gathering and so on is like English style, you know, we do that gathering. That is small gathering. And then of course a gathering like the firstborn child, you know, so they gather the family and they have some celebration and they have some culture. They want to give to the gods, the firstborn, and the culture of.
Can we get into that? The baby naming, is it?
Baby naming, yes. Baby naming, correct. Baby naming.
So what exactly happens in a baby naming?
Baby naming is
like ritual.
Okay, the elders, or they have the Kadazan, those who are not Christian, right? We call them the priestess, because it's a woman, woman priest. They come and then they do the mantra and speak so many things to the god and so on, right? And then they will just offer this child by way of bathing them, and they speak something to it like favor, you will grow, you will get married, you will be delivered from sickness, and they will cut the short hair here, you know, as a sign that this is the old one, we leave it, now you grow, child. And they speak so many things, so many poem, you know, artistic poem to speak. It's like, it's a word of blessing, in other words. Speak word of blessing like Yam Chao, like the Chinese, you know, like good luck, all these things. Something like, it's the same thing. And then
for the future of the baby.
For the future of the baby, they celebrate, and the parents or the uncle or the niece will give gifts. You know, it can be any gift. It can not only money but other gifts for the child. Okay, that
like
is
food.
Yeah, food. It's quite a good celebration. Or it's quite a good celebration. Yeah.
A reason for everyone to gather, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So we know that in the past, Kadazans lived in long houses. Right?
No.
No?
No. The Dusun.
The Dusun. Oh, sorry, my bad.
The Murut tribe.
And
the Rumus. These three tribes. The Dusuns, which live in the hill part. The Muruts also in the hill part. And the Rumus. The Rumus is somewhere in the province of Kudat. And if you go to Kudat and look at the Rumus, some are still you can still see the long house there. And I think the Muruts,
there's no one living there?
Yeah. And the Muruts, if you go to Tenom and Keningau town, that the interior area of that area, there's still long house. Okay? But the Kadazan, they are not hilly people. They stay by the side of the river, by the riverside. The Kadazan people. So they are the first one who get in contact with the seamen. You know, seamen mean the British who travel by ship. The Sultan.
They are the first one in contact with them.
So they stay by the riverside. So they don't have a long house, by the way. And then when the Chinese came to Sabah to build up shops, Chinese shops in the plain area, it became like a colony of Chinese. So the Kadazan came there and intermarried and mixed with them. And the Chinese don't live in, our ancestors Chinese don't live in a long house, right? So
it's the people on the hills.
Yeah. So the Chinese build the house, and the Kadazan saw the pattern, the way the Chinese do. So they follow the Chinese, and they don't build long house. They build like a Chinese house.
Ah, I see.
I remember my grandfather, my grandmother, when I go to their house, I see a lot of Chinese style house. Chinese style house. So the Kadazan.
So would you say like Chinese heavily influenced the Kadazans there?
Yes, exactly. Because the Kadazan is the first tribe to get in touch with the foreigners. The British, the Chinese, the Malay.
So it's not just the Chinese, right?
Yeah.
All the visitors that come.
Yeah. Whereas the Muruts, the Dusun, and the Rumus are in the hilly part. It's very far from the sea.
It's isolated.
So you can imagine it influenced the culture. The British influenced them, the Chinese influenced them. So slowly they began to follow the pattern, the way they dress and the way they build their house. So when I grew up, when I was born in 1965, I live in a single-story house, wooden house or bamboo house. There is no long house. No.
So, all the cultures and let's say all the food is also a little Chinese infused.
Chinese
right?
infused, exactly. Chinese infused.
So the Kadazan type is more open to changes.
Yes, they are very, very, very open to changes. That is why
compared to the hillside.
Compared to the hillside. That is why the Kadazan embraced them. Some of them got married to a Matsale, married to a Chinese, and they mix, and then the culture is like mixture of Chinese and Kadazan culture, and so that's how they have been modernized. In other words, modernized by the foreigners. So if
we have the coastal Kadazan and the Dusun, central Dusun. What is the difference, would you say?
The difference of what? Different of the Hulu?
Their lifestyle, their culture.
Okay. I don't want to talk about now, right? Now is modern. You cannot...
everything standardized.
Means the Dusun are very modern, the Murut are modern, the Kadazan are modern, everybody is modern. Modern mean you can see the Kadazan studying in your university or even in the city. They have been influenced by such a style. But when you talk about 1980s, right, 1970s, okay, then you can see the different. Your question was, what is the difference between Dusun and Kadazan? Am I right? That's the question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can really notice the physical. I mean, the pure blood Kadazan and the pure blood Dusun. You can really distinguish them. The Dusun.
The way they speak.
Okay. Number one, of course, what you said, the language is different. Especially the Murut. The Murut, I cannot even understand any single word that they speak to me.
It's very different. Like it's.
Oh yes, it's very, very different. Means I cannot even understand a single language, single word that they speak. The Murut from the interior part from that side. Okay. So I know they are Murut. I know they are Muruts, you see. From the language you can identify they are Murut. But I know the lingo. I know the way. When they speak Murut, I know. Okay.
But you don't know what they are speaking.
But I don't know what they're speaking. Unless I have to learn, I have to learn like onsoi rondom, pabukat kau kai, something like this. Okay, a simple one I learned because they speak to me. How to say ni hao in Murut. So they say kopi versian, something like this. Then I learn. But if they never speak, I mean, if they speak deeper Murut, I cannot even understand a single language. That's what makes that particular tribe different. All right. Of course, the physical appearance is not the same. Okay, the Kadazan a bit whiter, plain. You know, I'm talking about a pure blood Kadazan, okay, not mixed Chinese like us. Like me, I look like Chinese because, but I'm talking about pure Kadazan. They are white. They are white people. They're just plain and white. All right. The muruts are not white. They are a bit darker, a little bit.
Tan skin.
Yeah.
And their clothing.
And the clothing. When you talk about 1970s, okay, don't talk about now. 1970s, they use a tree, kind of a tree kulit kayu, you know, kind of things. I don't know from which tree is that, but they use that like to wear clothes.
Oh, the surface of the wood.
Yeah, correct. That's the murut is, and then. They have a kind of a pan, short pan kind of thing, very long, and they just wrap it up. You're talking about 1960s, 1970s. Now you cannot see that.
Real.
Yeah, but now you cannot see that, of course. They have their own traditional custom and the way they dress. Okay, the Dusun, which is mostly Dusun in, if you heard about town called Keningau, Ranau, the Mount Kinabalu, the
Ranau,
Mount Kinabalu, you know, the tallest mountain in Asia, Mount Kinabalu. Under the Mount Kinabalu is an area called Ranau and Tambunan. Okay, these are the place where Dusuns are located. Okay, Dusun are very, very short. They are white, but their language is more on heavy R, the R language of the Dusun. Kadazan is more on Z, you know, but we can communicate, we can understand each other. But the slang, like I don't know how to say, the Hokkien is talking to the Cantonese, something like this.
Yeah, we cannot understand each other. If it's pure, we cannot understand.
Okay. But like the Dusun and Kadazan, they can still understand a little bit.
So they are more tightly together?
Yeah, a little bit. But the way the Dusun pronounce the word is more on R. R, you know, a lot of R.
Oh.
R,
okay.
The alphabet. The Kadazan use a lot of Z.
It's more like style.
You can imagine Kadazan, you know, Zan, Kadazan, Z-A-N, you know. Kadazan, you know, a lot of Z, Izo, Izo, Iziao.
So is the word about the same, or is it definitely different?
About 70% similar.
Oh, it's like say Bahasa Melayu and Bahasa Indonesia.
Yeah, something like this. Correct. Yeah, Bahasa Melayu.
The slang is a bit different, but some words are the same.
Somewhat are the same. I mean, it has the same meaning, but the way to pronounce it not the same. The Dusun have more R, alphabet of R. Even though we quote the same name or the same word, but the way the Dusun and Kadazan pronounce is totally different. It's like Bahasa Malaysia and Bahasa Indonesia. But we talk to the same subject, but the slang of Malaysia and Indonesia is not the same. Am I right?
Yeah. Some words can change the meaning.
Correct. But like I said, we only understand about 70% of the Dusun language.
So let's say if someone wants to learn the language, is there like a standard syllabus?
Yes, because the state of government initiative was they teach in the school, primary school, standard school, and even high school. Under the subject of language, you know, you have an option to study English, Chinese, or option to study foreign language. So Kadazan language and Dusun was one of those options. So if you go to a university like University Sabah, University Malaysia Sabah, you know, Sabah University, they have the subject of Kadazan and Dusun. So
Because I would imagine it would go to waste if the language is dying slowly, you know?
yeah, no, they maintain it. They teach now in the university like an option.
Nice.
You can study French, or you want to study English, or you want to study Kadazan, something like this. So it's up to the student. So they have books. Even the Dusun have books, syllabus, module. They have the Kadazan books that you can read, and they have Kadazan lecturer and Dusun lecturer.
It's good to know that the culture is still passed on.
Yeah, so the Ministry of Education in Sabah have implemented that language study. If you're interested.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So I was thinking about family concepts. Family concept in Kadazan.
When you talk about concept, elaborate me more. What do you mean by concept? Family concept?
Yeah, family concept, let's say in the role of members within the family, who is in charge?
Okay.
Or is it even?
Okay. I understand. Generally, I just put in generally among the Dusun and the Kadazan and the Murut and the Rungus. These are the 4 big tribes, and the Kadazan is the biggest, by the way, but the family concept of the Dusun, the Rungus, the Murut, and the Kadazan, okay? There is no, I should say, there is no status discrimination. You know, you are a woman and the man is discriminating. No. Everybody have your role. Okay, but of course, in the family, the man is the head, or the husband must be the head. So the final authority, the final authority and final decision must come from the man or the council of men. They have a council.
There's a council of men.
Yeah, they call it council of elders, or the ketua kampung, or the chief head, you know. So it can be the chief head of the village and the council of men, and then the husband, right? So the husband is the head of the family, all right? And the
representative of the family.
Yeah, and the head of the village is a man. The head of the village is a man with a council of men to decide whatever happened in the village. So it's head by the man. Okay, so I hope you
but there's no discrimination lah.
There's no discrimination when you are a family man. You have a wife, right? Then the wife is the head of the kitchen, something like this. The wife is the chef of the kitchen. So the man cannot disturb them in the kitchen. If you go to the kitchen, then you have to respect the wife, because wife is the one who is cooking for you, cleaning for you. The wife is just assisting the husband. But when you talk about heavy things and decision to marry, for example, my daughter want to get married, or my son want to get married, then the final decision is the man, but he still will counsel the wife. Alright? So that's the concept. But you have a role. I mean, the concept is muhibah concept. It's like gotong royong concept. The wife have his own role as a housewife.
Everything has their own role.
Yeah. Looking after the children, raising up the children, teaching the children about whatever culture and custom it is. And then a man have his own role also as a hunter, as a fisherman, protector of the house, looking for food, and go as a carpenter or whatsoever. And then at the end of the day, they still gather together as a family unit. Alright?
I see. I see you have a guitar back there.
Yeah, I'm a singer. I'm a guitarist. I love to sing. It's my passion.
So, I would like to ask about the traditional instruments. Are you familiar with the traditional instruments?
Okay. The famous traditional instrument is gong. G-O-N-G.
Gong.
You know, the one that you beat?
Yeah.
Because without the gong, you cannot dance the Sumazao dance. Impossible.
The Sumazao dance, yes.
You know
I was
Sumazao, the
going to
Kadazan
that.
Sumazao dance.
Sumazao.
Without a gong, without an instrument of a gong, then there's no music. Because at that time, there is no guitar. Guitar was introduced by the English people. But before guitar come, the only instrument that they have is number one, the gong. Gong, you know?
It's like the tempo of the whole dance.
Yeah, the gong. So, there are 6 gong. Okay? Big. Then number 2, gong number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. 6 men are hitting the gong. And there's another type of made of skin drum, like a drum made of animal skin, and they hit it, boom, 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 like a Chinese, you know, drum, tok, 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 you know, like the drum.
So is there a name for the drum?
Oh, sorry, I almost forgot on that. Long time I didn't see that. Almost 40 years I did not see it.
Oh, so it's a little died down already.
But it's gong number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And then we have a smaller gong, like 10 of those. Smaller gong. Okay, I can name the gong as kulintangan. It's a small gong, about 12 of them. Apart from the 6 gong, right? There is another about 10 or 12 smaller gong. Small one, tong ting tong ting tong ting tong ting tong, like you know the Chinese tong 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 tong. No? It's a smaller gong, small like this, and they call it kulintangan. K-U-L-I-N tangan, you know hand, tangan bahasa Melayu, kulintangan. So that's the name of the instrument. So in every village, listen, Mr. Ku, every village, there must be a gong. And they play the gong when somebody died, a special kind of gong beat, special for someone who died, alright? Then they beat the gong with a special way when people want to get married. They have a special kind of beat, you know, right? And then when is a warrior dance in 1976, they have a Kadazan warrior who came from war and victorious, and they welcome them to the village because this warrior is carrying 5 heads on the back. He managed to chop the head of the enemy, so they have a special gong for him to welcome him, you know. So
to celebrate the victory.
The victory. So the same gong, but different beat. 3 type of beat. When somebody died, they beat the gong. Is the gong for the dead. So in the village, right? Even though you are very far away, in the moment you hear somebody beat that particular tune of the gong, everybody knows somebody died.
Oh.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, it is like an announcement to tell
exactly announcement.
Community.
The moment you hear that type of sound, they say, oh, somebody died. Okay, because there's no mobile phone at that time, right? There's no internet. So how to shout to the hill when they are far? So they beat the gong. If a special tune, then everybody, all the village will know that somebody died, and they will just rush to the house and go to the house and say, who died? Oh no, who died? You know, something like this.
Oh.
So it's a special instrument. Gong.
So as a Kadazan, we have pantang larang, right?
Alright.
So is there any Kadazan specific pantang larang that you live?
Yes, in the 70s, in the 60s, but now we become a Christian, right? We embrace the Chinese way, we embrace the British lifestyle, so there's no more strict pantang larang, okay? But if you talk about 1960s, then there are many pantang larang, you know? Like if you want to go to the house of somebody, then you must bring something. It can be salt, or it can be a rice, a small kind of rice, and you must wash your feet. If you don't wash your feet, some bad luck will come to you, something like this. You know, pantang larang. You know, I know what you mean, pantang larang.
Yeah.
And then when you sleep, you know, when you sleep, your head must sleep in the wall. Okay, your head must
face the wall.
Face the wall. You know, but if you are dead, then the head must be turned around. If the dead man, because if you don't follow that, there's some bad luck or something will happen to you. The pantang larang is like that. Hey, don't sleep like this, okay? You must sleep this way. Your head must be here. Something like it. It's like a pantang larang for the people. We are talking about 1960s and 70s. Okay, now it's like how Chinese sleep. That is how we sleep.
Even nowadays, pantang larang.
Yeah.
To scare the people.
But sometimes Chinese also have pantang larang. So some of us follow the pantang larang and so on. And Christian, of course, is different. Okay, but if you talk about 1960s, we have a pantang larang. Yeah.
So, do you have any traditional games?
All right. Again, I have to bring you back to the history. Okay, but now no more. Okay, it doesn't exist anymore now. Now we have.
No one plays it.
Now we have football, Manchester United, blah blah blah, all the game. Okay, and video games. You know, the Kadazan children are playing video games. But if we are back to the old way, 1970s, there are lots and lots of simple traditional games. Okay. One example is the kataput. You know, lastic. You catapult. You lastic the thing.
Yeah.
In the Harvest Festival, this is one of the competition. The game.
To compete in the game.
Yeah, to hit very sharp. If you are sharpshooter, you hit something and you get paid 200 ringgit, something like that, first prize, or 500 ringgit first prize. If you are very good in hitting the thing. But it is actually one of our weapon, you know,
for survival.
Yeah, survival, to hit the birds or to hit the squirrel, to kill, you know, like it's a weapon. It's a weapon for us. But then it become a game, because your question is what is your it become a game when there is a harvest festival. They have a competition, you know, to hit the tin or the bottles very far, and you have a prize. It become a competition.
It's like now, like archery they used to use in the war, but now in the Olympics.
Correct, exactly. This is one of that game. And then in Sabah, in the 70s, there are a lot of buffaloes. You know, water buffaloes.
Yes.
So they use it. Buffalo is useful for the farmers, the Kadazan farmers. But then during the harvest festival, they will have a game called buffalo racing.
So I've heard the buffalo being really holy, right?
No. It's the Indian treat the calf very holy, lembu, right? Very holy, right? But the buffalo is a friends of the farmers. They use the buffalo before the tractor came, the machine came. Everything they use buffalo to ride, to bring the rice from the rice field to the house. Everything is using buffaloes. So but it's not to be worshipped. It's just the best friend of the farmer in buffalo. Yeah. The usage.
Something about that. Manungkaya Kalabao.
Manungkai? Spell it for me.
MONUNG. MONUNGKA.
Manungkai.
VA.
Wow. You are talking.
Kalabao.
You are talking a very deep Kadazan, old Kadazan language, which even me, so I couldn't understand. What does it? Can you read? What does it explain? What is it?
So it is talking about the rich family of Kadazan Dusun people, they would sacrifice a cow, a buffalo.
Okay, that is mostly done by the Dusuns. Okay, when because the Dusuns, they stay in the mountain of Kinabalu, right? Many of them thought that when somebody died, right, the soul of that man will go to the mountain of Kinabalu and stay there. Okay, so when they pray and when they worship the mountain gods, so call it, they sacrifice the animals, and one of that animals is of course the carabao, the water buffalo, they call it water buffalo, because buffalo is very, very, very popular in Sabah in the 60s and 70s. If you want to get married, if you want to marry somebody, there must be one of the dowry is you must have a water buffalo to give at least 2 or 3. If you don't have a buffalo, you cannot get married.
Oh,
that is
like
how
symbolic.
that is how sacred it is. You know, when I want to marry a Kadazan or even a Dusun woman, right, you must have at least minimum 2 buffalo to give. If you don't have a buffalo, you are not rich. It's a symbol of richness.
Oh,
you cannot get married.
Okay.
You cannot get married. So I don't know. Maybe that is what you call mahungkai or something like. They treat the buffalo very, very high. You know, it's a sign that you are rich. If you don't have a buffalo, means you are a poor. Something
The
like
parents won't be impressed.
No.
So right now, I'll open the question to the floor.
Last question,
If
but
anyone
not
wants
least.
to ask.
Okay, last question, last answer, but not least. We eat buffalo in the marriage ceremony of a Kadazan in the 70s, in the 60s. It is a must to slaughter a buffalo to eat. That buffalo is the one that was given to the woman the time when he get married. When the marriage is, they give 2 buffalo. So 1 buffalo must be slaughtered during the marriage ceremony for everybody to eat. So we eat buffalo meat. That is the purpose for them to give buffalo. If you don't have buffalo, you cannot get married. Something like this. Okay.
Because one of it needs to be eaten for the ceremony.
Yeah, I have eaten a buffalo meat. It's just like lembu or daging. It's very, very delicious. Yeah.
So is there anyone who wants to ask Professor any questions? Anyone?
Maybe I can ask a question.
Okay.
Professor, is it the Kadazan girls and boys name, the newborn baby? The name is inspired by the world, things like tree, animals.
Okay. Again, I have to separate between the modern day Kadazan who are mixed Chinese, the modern day Kadazan who are Christian. So, if you are modern day Kadazan, of course, they go to the church, or the Chinese head will give them a name. The privilege goes to the man, the head of the family, or the priest, and they will just give a name, David or Tony, you know, Joe Low or something. They will just give a name. But when you talk about 1960s and 70s, right? Normally, the father will have the privilege to name, or the head of the village give the name. And that name, they follow the kind of Kadazan kind of a name. Is a special Kadazan name. I don't know how to tell you, but it is a name being handed down by our ancestors. So it is a ancestor's name, I should say. All right. and then sometime they use the name of the head village that already died, who is very strong and they respect, and they said, oh, okay, I want to name my son as so and so and so and so. So it's not a Christian name, it is not a Chinese name, but it's a name that being used by our ancestors long time ago. All right, but of course the bin mean the surname follow the father's side, not the mother's side. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is the language of Kadazan people is called Central Dusun?
So what?
I found the name is Central Dusun.
Central Dusun.
Is it that?
Spell for me central. Spell for me central. What? C what?
CENTREL.
Okay. I have to correct some history here because I'm a historian. I have to correct some history here. Initially, the history is this. There are about 40 tribes, right? 40 tribes. And the name of the tribe is not Dusun, okay? Like the Kadazan, the Tang language is the tribe of Tanga, okay? Right? And when you go to Ranau, there is a tribe. When you go to Kinoingan, there is another tribe. Example, the tribe of Kuijau, okay? Kuijau or Tembenuoh tribe, all right? But then, when the British came, when the Sultan came to rule some part of Borneo, they cannot distinguish because of the diversities of 40 tribes. They cannot identify whether they are Rungus, they are the Kuijau, they are the Tanga, they are the Tembenuoh tribe. So the British, when they trade together with the seamen, those who stay in the sea, right, the Bajau, the Iranun, the seaside of Sabah, say, who are these people which tribe, who are these people from the hill who came to trade with us? They trade, right? And even the foreigners cannot distinguish. I think the similarity is there. The Kuijau people, the Tembenuoh, the Tanga, and the Murut, they cannot distinguish, and they simply say it like this. Or they are the people from the hill. Okay? These are the people from the hill, and these are the people from the riverside. So, in Bahasa Malaysia, especially the Muslim, right, when they speak in the language, mereka ini adalah orang-orang dari dusun. You know what is the dusun? The meaning of bahasa dusun? What? Kebun, yeah. Orchard. When the Englishmen say, hey, who are these people? And the Malay people, the Bajau said, orang-orang ini adalah orang-orang datang dari dusun. Mereka ini orang-orang dari dusun-dusun, dari kebun-kebun, for example. But they call it dari dusun-dusun, you know. So, originally, listen, Dusun is not the name of a tribe. It's not. It's not a name of a tribe originally. Initially, it's not a name of a tribe. It is a name given to the English people by the Malay, because the word Dusun is a Malay language. Am I right? Even if you say Ulu Dusun, Dusun buah-buahan, you know, it's a Malay language. So the English people, when they heard this, that they are the Dusun people, they cannot identify. How can you identify 40 tribes? Very difficult to name them. The Kuijau, the Tanga, from Ranau is Liwan, suku Liwan, and suku this and suku that. So they just gather all it and say they are the Dusun people. So, in other words, it is not a name. I repeat, Dusun initially is not a tribe. It's not a name. It is generally given to those who stay in the mountain, those who stay in the kebun, people who stay in the Dusun. So when you say, who are these? Oh, these are the Dusun, the people from Dusun. These are the Dusun people. So when they said to the Kadazan by the riverside, these are the Dusun, and you know what did the Kadazan say? No, we are not from the Dusun. We are not from the mountain. In other words, we are in the riverside. So don't call us Dusun. Call us Kadazan. Because the meaning of Kadazan is orang asli. That's the meaning, okay? If you want to know what is the meaning, Prof, what is the meaning of Kadazan? Kadazan means orang asli, the people of the land. That's the meaning, translation of Kadazan, the people of the land. And who give them this name? Not the British, not the Muslim, but it was handed down by our ancestors. That it is the name of a tribe, Kadazan. But Dusun was named by the British. Dusun was given the name by the Malay. And because they cannot distinguish who are from Ranau, who are from Tenom, who are from Kudat, the Rungus from Kudat, so they just say Dusuns. But eventually, when they keep on hearing Dusun, and this Tombenua tribe, Tagol tribe, Timogon tribe, Rungus tribe say, okay, what the WFU? Okay, we accept. We are Dusun, you know. Okay, we are Dusun. So eventually, after many years, they just receive it and call themselves Dusun. So eventually, it become like okay, how to say, Creole language name. You know Creole? They borrow the word Dusun from the Malay and adapt it to become a name of some sort of ethnic. But if you really ask them, what is your real tribe name? They will tell you, they are not Dusun. They will tell you, oh, I am orang sungai. Or they will tell you, oh, I am Murut Tagol. I am the Tagol tribe. Or they will tell you, oh, I am the Timogon tribe. Or I am the Kuijau tribe. Or I am the Tambenua tribe. Have you heard of all these tribes? Different name, you know. But they just adapt after almost 50, 60, 70 years. They said, okay, we just take it. Since the Matsale are calling us the Dusun, the Muslim Malay calling us, okay, we are the Dusun, correct, we are the Dusun. So it become like a Dusun, you know. But when you come to Penampang, listen, Penampang Papar, they will never say we are Dusun. No, absolutely no. They will say we are Kadazan. We are Kadazan. But
so there is no such thing as Dusun before the British came. There is no tribe as Dusun.
It was the British who gave that name. Because
it's just the British interpreted as Dusun.
Men from the Dusun. That's all. They are from the Dusun.
So there's no such thing as Dusun language. Every language is from the tribe.
Yeah. But then, after like 50 years, 60 years, this name is become so popular, politicalized by the Dusun leader. Eventually, they just, okay, let's take it as a name. So they use it as I am Dusun today. That's it. But if you say you are Dusun, from which tribe of Dusun are you? And they will tell you, okay, I am the Kuijau tribe, or I am the Hokkien tribe, I am the Cantonese tribe. But are you Mandarin? Yes, I am Mandarin. Yes, Mandarin. But tell me actually, are you Mandarin from which province? Or I am the Hokkien guy, Teochew guy. You know Chinese. They use Mandarin as a Chinese, but if you go into detail, you still have the tribal, you know. The same thing. Dusun become like general. But the Kadazan separate themselves. They say, no, we are not from Dusun. Hey, come on, Masale. Hello, Masale. We did not stay in the Dusun, man. We stay in the plain, we get married to Chinese, and you still call us Dusun? No, we never stay in the Dusun area, okay? We stay in the river area. So we are Kadazan. Something like this. Yeah.
So the Kadazan, the name Kadazan comes from the ancestors.
Ancestors. The meaning is the people of the land. Or like orang asli ya. Aborigines, you know? You know Aborigines?
Yeah, the people that is from the...
Yeah. You know, like in Pahang, in Johor, there are orang asli, right?
Yeah.
They are the people of the land. They are not, they didn't came from Indonesia or from China or so on. They're just Aborigines there. Like Australia also have the Aborigines people. Like the Native American, the Indian, the Red Indian are Aborigines. Alright? Because American came from England, they invade America, right? But there are people who has been there, the orang asli, the people of the land. So the Kadazan is, I don't know, it's just there. So actually the whole tribe is called Kadazan. I mean, we are all, whether you are Kuijau, you are people of the land. Whether you are Tambenua, Tagol, Rungus, you are the people of the, you are all the Kadazan. Initially in the 60s, only one name was given, Kadazan, as a general. But then the English people want to make it easy. They say Dusun, Dusun, Dusun. So you can see now we have Kadazan Dusun language. We have the Dusun. They embrace it to become a race. So today you can say, are you Dusun? Oh yes, I'm a Dusun. That's it. Are you Kadazan? Yes,
then
I'm a
they group
Kadazan.
everything together.
Yeah, correct. To make
Easier
things,
for
to make
them to
things
do that.
easy. Yeah. Are you a Mandarin Chinese? Yeah. Something like this. But you
They
know
will
you.
ask Teochew or Hokkien.
Yeah, actually you are Hokkien and you are different language with Teochew or something like that. Yeah, the same.
Okay. So I hope that we are not taking too much of your time.
Oh sure. So next time I will charge you consultant or lecturer fee. Now it's free. Absolutely free for you.
Thank you so much. So if there's no other questions,
Yeah,
I think we can end this amazing session.
sure.
Alright. So Vivian, thank you very much
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
giving us this opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is it
Thank
recorded?
you.